Cross-Cultural Learning Study Abroad with Stephen F. Austin State University. This is my study abroad group that went to Costa Rica with me. After a long flight, our first stop was in San Jose. Our first adventure arriving to San Jose was checking in and then finding some delicious food to eat. Next stop, Puerto Viejo. One of the stops for the day was visiting the local school, and in the background of the picture you can see how they have the alphabet and how you would pronounce it in English. One of the neat things the school offered was morning and afternoon classes for students, and they also offered classes for adults. After visiting the school, we went to the national park to swim around and relax before going to eat dinner at a local restaurant. The following day was a free day, and so a couple of us took advantage to go visit some local art shops. This was a couple of us riding our bikes around town just visiting, and of course Yvette wasn't there because she could not learn how to ride. Because Puerto Viejo isn't too far from Panama, Sarai and I thought we could cycle all the way down. Needless to say, we didn't get too far. To finish off our adventures in Puerto Viejo, we decided to go back to where we first started and just play around, have a couple of drinks, and just enjoy our last night. Our next stop is La Fortuna, which was my favorite. The place we were staying at was also part restaurant, so one of their main dishes was black bean soup, and it was delicious. Also, I felt it very important to include my boo-boos. Costa Rican terrain is rough. On our first full day there, everybody else went whitewater rafting while Yvette and I enjoyed the day. We actually got to see the volcano, which is in the background of the picture. Luckily, we got to see the volcano, and we also got to visit the waterfall. It was such a perfect day, and like true lumberjacks, we swam in the freezing cold water. Once we all reunited, we went to the volcanic baths and had a buffet touristy dinner. Onward to Santa Elena Monteverde. There was a reptile museum there. Needless to say, my favorite part of that was buying the organic bar soap. This picture was taken at a little coffee shop in Santa Elena. They had sandwiches and pastries and desserts, and they had one of my all-time American favorites of brownies and ice cream. While in Santa Elena, we got to zip line and bungee jump and at all the forest and just the different levels of canopies and the different wildlife, and it was really beautiful. Now that we had experienced the natural, true Costa Rican lifestyle, we were then headed to Quepos, the more touristy side of Costa Rica. This was a little private, not private beach that we were taken to. The walk there and back was very, very long, but it was definitely worth every step. One of the days we got to go to the farmer's market, and the reason I included this picture was because this man was using everyday tools to make his living. One of the nights we went out into the town to experience true nightlife in Quepos, and while doing so we got to experience a sloth up close and personal. One of the days we got to enjoy just relaxing at a catamaran, and the guy on the far left, we kind of adopted him into our group because he was traveling solo. Our last night consisted of a full course meal of all the most famous Costa Rican dishes, from plátanos to a typical casado. Back to San Jose we go to wrap up the rest of our trip. Our last night in San Jose, a couple of us went exploring and stumbled across this little coffee shop that was all-inclusive, especially to those hard of hearing and visually impaired. are sad to leave Costa Rica but ready to be back at home in Texas.